we're looking live here at DNA HQ here in beautiful Salt Lake City, Utah. How's it going, AJ?
I'm doing good, buddy. I'm doing really good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. On today's episode of the DNA Sports Recap, we have
The Utah Jazz make arguably the biggest trade they've made in a long time.
in the NHL. Did the Utah Mammoth make any trades before the Olympic freeze-out?
Utah football. Man, I am not good at these today. Let's talk Utah football 2026 schedule and what was the most exciting game in 2025.
In Major League Baseball, well, not really the Major League Baseball, the WBC is having insurance issues with its players. All that and more. My name is Darren, that is AJ, and this is the DNA Sports Recap. How's it going, AJ?
I'm good, buddy.
Look at that, dude. I am just like in center of the camera. For those of you listening on the podcast, you can't see this, but man, this camera's pointed right at me, and AJ's like just in the corner over there, dude.
Sit over here.
It looks great. It looks great. All right.
Here, I'll lean in like this.
No, we're going to make an adjustment. We're going to make an in-studio adjustment here. Hang on a second. We're going to do, we're going to go ahead and do, I don't know. Should we just slide it over?
Yeah, slide it. I got
okay.
it.
You got it? Can I reach it?
I think so.
Okay.
Hold on.
Sorry, we can't. I can't have it just be pointing at me the whole time, AJ. This just isn't.
So it needs to go towards me.
Mm-hmm.
There?
It's better. This is quality content, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Keep watching. It gets better.
It does. It does. All right. Well, first of all, folks, again, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the DNA Sports Recap. We have lots to talk about. Huge stuff in the Utah Jazz, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But before we do, like we do every time, pre-show cheers.
Yep.
Pre-show cheers. Cheers to you.
Cheers to you guys.
Good apple juice today.
It's delicious.
Yeah, Long Branch, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. They make apple juice now. Who knew?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. We got McKinley Cutler jumping in the comments already. Holy crap, Jazz just off the top rope with this trade. Didn't even have to give our own future first round picks other than 2027. Yeah. It's a huge trade. Huge trade.
We're going to dive straight into it.
Yes.
Promise.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We also have a front line. The front line, yeah, definitely we're going to cover that. We're going to come back to that. So we're going to star that little sucker and come back to that guy because I definitely want to talk about that. Didn't know we could star things. Did you know we can start things?
I did not know, but it's started now.
It's started now.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the Utah Mammoth first. You want to get that one going?
Yep, absolutely.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about your Utah Mammoth. All right, so there is this article on Clutch Points saying that the Utah should be coming into, what the Utah Mammoth should be doing going into the Olympic break. Now, obviously, that came and went today. For those of you who don't know, there is kind of like a soft deadline before going into the Olympic break. There's something called the roster freeze. So it happens today at around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, our time. Now, keep in mind, the real trade deadline is actually March 6th. However, that a lot of people treat this as kind of a soft deadline because you don't want to make trades after it with the potential of that player being hurt in international competition. So a lot of them just try to make the trade ahead of time.
Right.
Going into it. So a lot of people treat this kind of as a soft deadline. And that's kind of what this article was talking about. We'll link it in the description here when we post this to the Utah Mammoth channel. Utah Mammoth DNA channel. But yeah, so with that said, again, the deadline isn't actually officially here. That is actually March 6th. It's just the first time that we've had Winter Olympics while we've had a hockey team. So we wanted to make sure we were clear on
Absolutely. That
that
it was a soft deadline.
there's
It's
a
not
soft
necessarily
deadline.
hard. Yeah.
Exactly. The rosters are frozen in the NHL until after February 22nd, basically. So what were your takeaways from this article?
I mean, there's a lot of good stuff. I mean, it goes in and it kind of talks about how, I mean, really just how good the Mammoth's been this year. I mean, they are like really one of the league's biggest surprises. They've been playing great. The offense needs a little bit of improvement, but it doesn't help having Logan Cooley and Alex Kerfoot out. This is a really a team that's really making strides in the correct direction, and they do got a little bit of cap space to play with, which is nice. So when they do get back from Olympic break, obviously there's still some room to make some moves there, and I mean, it's still a super exciting time for the Utah Mammoth team, and we got some flexibility and also some needs move as we go into winter break.
Yeah, absolutely. So the article does say that we need to improve on offense, like you mentioned. Utah is currently sitting 16th in offense, which is dead center in the league. For those of you who don't understand hockey, there are 32 teams, and not necessarily don't understand hockey, but are new to hockey like us. There are 32 teams. So when you're 16th, AJ, that is down the middle, my friend.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you're
that's as in the middle as you can get.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you're in that, you don't want to be that. If you want typically you want to be in the top half offensively and the top half defensively to be considered a real threat.
Yeah.
In the playoffs. So the fact that we were dead center on that one, and we're also dead last when it comes to power play conversion rate. Did you see this?
I did.
Yeah. So okay. So the team is in a premium position to make a trade, even though they didn't before the freeze out. There's still time to do it before the deadline, which is March 6th. They actually have 27 picks of trade capital they could use at their disposal, and also about $7.3 million in cap space just this season alone. Now, if we wait to the to the summer, that goes up to $27.7 million. So to me, that kind of makes me think like, you know what? Hey, we were going to get there with this team. To me, that kind of screams that. Yeah. Right. Let's see where this team can go. Let's see what we can do. But their article does make an interesting case for this player, Nazem Kadri. Kadri. Yeah, Nazem Kadri from the Flames. Did you hear this?
Yeah, I saw it in the article, and I mean, good, solid player, and he's an ideal trade target specifically because he is a right-handed defenseman, right?
Yes, he would probably play. Yeah,
and I mean that's one of the areas that this team does need some help in. When most of your playoff experience is coming from Mikhail Sergachev and Nate Schmidt, you've got to look to back those guys up and continue to grow in every single area that you can.
No, I agree. This Kadri, Nazem Kadri from the Flames, said he'd be perfect for this team. I mean, he is currently at 35 points, 9 goals, 26 assists. Part of that, but however, this season he's got 13 points, 2 goals, 11 assists in power play minutes this season. So basically what they're doing is they're making the suggestion that like, hey, if Utah wants to improve on their power play conversions, then adding a guy like Nazem Kadri should be somebody they should be targeting. I think he's a good fit salary-wise. He's under contract until the 2028-2029 season, which is when we'd probably see a little bit more defensemen that we have in the what I call the minor leagues. I don't know if that's what it's called in hockey, so roast me in the comments on that one. But anybody who's in the other the minor leagues could be brought up would be around that time. But they don't mention who Utah would actually be giving up in this deal, and I think that's the key thing. Maybe Schmaltz, who's on an expiring contract, or Jusa, maybe, who's also a defenseman, maybe, but he's younger and has a lot more controllable years to him. So I'm just kind of like, you could throw that idea out there, but if you're not really showing what Utah would give up in that space, and I don't necessarily want to give up Schmaltz. He's been such a potent part of our team.
Yeah.
In the game I watched, he had a goal. He had a goal with in that 6-2 beating that they did.
He had a hat trick in that game.
Yeah, it was insane, right?
Yeah.
Like this guy was just like everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I watched that game live, and I'm just kind of like, how is this team like? This team is so frustrating when it comes to that. Like they only average like 3.4 goals a game, but in their wins, they're winning they're scoring like 6 goals.
Yeah,
there's no 2-1 wins.
It's
for them.
all or nothing.
They're either scoring 6 or losing by with 2 goals. So it's just been kind of that season. So some kind of like stability would be nice in that. But outside of that, man, obviously they didn't do anything before the freeze out for the roster freeze of the Olympics. And honestly, man, I don't know if this kind of move is what they're going to do going into the trade deadline. Sure, it sucks that they're dead last, but we also got Logan Cooley, who hasn't been on the ice yet, which could also really help with this.
Yes.
And who else was hurt?
Oh, Alex Kerfoot.
Yeah, I don't know what Kerfoot would do in regards to that, but let us know in the comments.
Yeah, he's a defenseman, but he's talented.
He's a talented defenseman, but I don't know what his stats are on the power play. So,
Yeah.
But honestly, I think just simply having those guys back would be enough, So I don't know. I think they stand pat at the trade deadline and don't do anything. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think this team's happy with kind of what they have and the direction that they're going, and I think that's the best move. You kind of just keep letting these guys, especially some of these guys that are inexperienced, right? A lot of our star players like, JJ Paterka and Clayton Keller and Dylan Gunther, none of these guys have any playoff experience.
No.
And what you want to do is get them as much ice time as you possibly can. Make sure that they understand that if this team can push into the playoffs, you're going to have significant time and significant opportunity to go out there and lead this team to some playoff victory.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You don't want to make any moves until you see what this team can do in the playoffs.
Got to know what you have. Absolutely.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
I think we're both agreeing on that. That's just choice, dude. This is good sports talk radio.
Bam.
Sports talk radio. Sports talk.
Sports talk radio is fine.
Yeah, independent sports coverage when the two people on the panel are actually agreeing with each other, which is never great, but that's okay. We got a comment here from channel legend Greg Hawkins.
What's up, Greg?
Great to see you again, buddy. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming
Thanks
back.
for tuning in, man.
Yeah, good to see you, man. Now, when it comes to Utah Mammoth again, we will see them. I believe they have. I think they have another game before the end of the. I think the roster's frozen. I think they have another game or two before the.
Yeah, I think there's like
breaks.
2 more games.
2 more games.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, love to see it. Love to see the play. I love to see this team playing in playoff contention for the first time in year 2 of being here, which is awesome.
It's the name, man. It's the name. They got a name this year.
No, it's just it's a winner state, winner sport makes sense. Anyway, we can get into more detail there on why the Utah Mammoth is performing so well out of the gates in Utah, as opposed to some other teams. But we'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah. And until then, leave us a comment down below. Let us know what you think. What moves should they make? Should they trade somebody? We want to hear it. Leave a comment down below.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there any trade that we want to make?
Yeah.
With that said, folks, we did want to talk to you quickly about Utah Mammoth. You're watching this on our live stream, or if you're checking this out on YouTube or listening to the podcast, we did launch a channel specifically for your Utah Mammoth called Utah Mammoth DNA. All of our Mammoth content will be posted here first. So if you have not yet, check out that channel. A link to that will be in the description down below. And we'd love to see you over there.
Yep.
We're doing a giveaway on that channel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're giving away a jersey once that channel hits 1,000 subscribers, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so make sure you're in there for that. Clayton Keller jersey. That'd be awesome.
Yep.
Not Clayton Keller. Clayton Keller.
It could be anybody.
Yeah, you know what? Dealer's choice on that one. We'll let you know.
Yeah.
We'll let you know. All right, let's go ahead and pivot on over and talk a little bit about Utah football, shall we?
Let's do it.
Okay. We don't have a lead in for it, do we?
No, we do.
Did you make one?
I thought there was one on there. Oh no, this is the one I add one for, huh?
Yeah, you added it. You didn't add it.
Post.
Add it in the queue.
But you got our thing off of here.
Our what thing?
Look, you don't have our
Oh my goodness. Our you're supposed to go back to the overlay.
Yeah, there we
I'm
go.
sorry, just the yellows all over your
Rookie.
face there. Just saying. Before we jump into the content, folks, we want to remind you about Utah Football DNA. This is a channel specifically dedicated to our Utah football team. All of our Utah football content will be posted here first. So if you have not yet, check out the link in the description. If you're listening to this on the podcast or watching us on the live stream, a link to that will be in the description down below. Check it out. All of our Utah football content will be there first.
Yep.
All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it, man. Gosh, dude, I want to break down. Like you actually mentioned this in our pre-show meeting here. Oh gosh, did it again. It's like, what am I not getting paid for over here?
Exactly.
All right. So in the Utah football, in our chat regarding what we're going to talk about this week, you mentioned that you'd like to break down the 2026 schedule. I think that's a great idea. The schedule looks like it was planned for this season, man. It really looks like it was planned. We've got 7 home games, 5 games on the road, which is very favorable for a team who's looking to establish a new identity. I mean, obviously Morgan Scalley's been here for a while.
Yeah.
You know, since like practically I was born. Practically, just kidding. It's not. I'm not that young. But anyway, we got
that young.
But yeah, we're looking to establish a new identity, and a nice schedule, like with 7 home games, 5 road games, is a great way to start. Not necessarily a cakewalk schedule, but in the aspect of what we're trying to do here and rebuild an identity, I think it's perfect. You got Idaho and Utah State at home, with Arkansas sandwiched there in the middle.
Yeah.
3 in a row at home is a great way to start the season, and then you kick off the conference play on the road with Iowa State, which you'll probably go into a little bit. Then we have a bye week after that, and then from there it's home away for the rest of the year. Before I get too deep on what I have here, why don't you go ahead and break down your thoughts on the schedule and what you want to highlight? And
I mean, the biggest thing is not who's on the schedule, but probably who's not on the schedule.
Ooh, I like that. That. Run your line.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we're missing Texas Tech and Kansas. I mean, who else are we missing?
Kansas State, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Kansas State. We also avoid Arizona State and Kenny Dillingham's team, which has been right in there for the conference championship every single year. They had a path to the Big 12 championship just like we did when this season came down to it. I actually really like the game on November 7th with BYU. Everyone's really upset about this whole Utah not playing them in rivalry week on the last week of the year. You understand that this is a great week for that, right? November 7th, we don't want to play them during rivalry week. Do you know why? Because if we're both at the top of the conference, we have to suit it up and then play in a short week in the Big 12 championship in the same game. You don't want to play your opponent in a really physical, like emotion-filled match on November 28th and then have to wrap it up and then go play them again on a neutral field on December 4th. That's some of the reasoning behind that schedule.
I can understand that, but at the same time, man, I don't know. For me, I'd rather be playing BYU on rivalry week than West Virginia.
I love stomping West Virginia.
For me, it just feels like the conference isn't taking this rivalry seriously, in my opinion.
See, and I think they are. I think this because this game gets played in a prime time slot.
Right.
It's not on obviously rivalry week, but I think they do it to attract as much view as possible to show how strong the conference is. I don't think it's necessarily a shot at the BYU Utah rivalry. I think it's more like making sure that they can get as many eyes on it as possible. And rivalry week, is there bigger rivalries in the country? Of course there is. You know what I mean? Like, obviously our rivalry is my favorite.
Right.
But we're not in the biggest market. So you don't want to be competing with Alabama, Auburn, and, Notre Dame, USC, or whoever that may be in some of those primetime slots. Put it a couple weeks earlier and let the whole country watch how physical and emotion-filled this game is, and let the love for these two teams just keep growing.
I guess I can see that. If you're wanting to promote the conference, it makes sense. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's just kind of one of those things you want to see. What else you got?
The Utes just came off of an absolutely fantastic season, going 11-2. We talked about it last week. They lost the 2 games that they couldn't lose, right? They could have won either one of those, and been in the conference championship game, but they didn't. And I think I have a ton of appreciation. This schedule is probably one of the best paths to keeping us winning in the conference. It's not
during a transition year for the team.
During a transition year, this is all you could ask for a schedule. You got TCU away, but Josh Hoover's not there. He transferred out. So they're going to be finding a new quarterback. Arizona, good team. They've been struggling. They're always kind of good. We got BYU at home, which you can't beat that, especially because I get to be there and watch us beat up BYU this year. Nice. Going away to Cincinnati, obviously their quarterback Brendan Sorsby just transferred to Texas Tech.
That's gonna be a tough road game.
That's a tough road game, but if you're going to play them, let's play a quarterback that they've got to retrain. And it's halfway through the season. you got to love it. We weren't supposed to be Cincinnati this year, and we went out there and stomped them.
That's right.
So, home against Houston. Dude, this is a great schedule for Utah to have a path to the conference championship.
Yeah.
You can't beat it.
Yeah. I want to start with the road schedule, which I think is very favorable for Utah.
Yeah.
Our first road game doesn't come until after the bye, which, is going to be our first road game happens the week before the bye.
Yeah.
Against Iowa State.
Yeah.
So we have nothing but home games against our non-conference team, right? And then our first conference game is a road game. And Arkansas, I don't see them being much of a threat to Utah, even with the team the way it is. I think what happens there is that our first road game and our first conference game, we get the bye week. We get to adjust based off of what we've seen off of the conference competition level.
And Iowa State's in shambles, man.
Yes, it's not looking great for them.
That whole team just transferred to Penn State.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the whole team followed their head coach to Penn State.
Yeah. And it also doesn't help that, first year head coach underneath the headset. So
yeah, the big headset.
Yeah, the big headset. That's right. Damn right.
I just and it's funny because I figure whenever you say that, I picture Spaceballs, dude.
Oh yeah.
I picture the headset like this big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But yeah, so Jimmy Rogers' first year underneath a big headset. And again, Matt Campbell took 23, 24 players with him to Penn State.
Yeah.
So Rogers is basically left with pretty much nothing to work with.
He's got rough sledding. Yeah.
He's got a lot to go on with there. I think the hardest game for Utah is as far as the road's going to be is against TCU. The reason why I think that is that in my opinion for Utah, first of all, the Horned Frogs are really hard to beat at home. They're a good team at home.
Good team.
This will be 7 straight weeks of Utah playing football.
Yeah.
And then TCU has very high expectations for this year. Even without
Josh Hoover?
Yeah. They dumped a lot of money into the program this year.
Yeah.
They upped their spending because of Texas Tech and everything.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of money going into it, so their expectations are high. I just think there's a chance for somebody to sneak in and steal a win from Utah.
Absolutely.
It's going to be when they've been doing 7 straight games.
Yeah. One game a week for 7 weeks is tough.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you could say Arizona would be a tough one as well, but they're also because they are retaining some of their key components. They had the 3rd ranked offense in the conference last year.
Yeah, Noah Fafita's a real deal.
Yes, and the Wildcats do have the best record last year that they've had in over a decade with a 5-win swing. So they have a lot of momentum coming in from the prior year. So, for me, I think when it comes to the road schedule, the home schedule has actually played out pretty well. We're playing Kansas at home, and all these games seem to be pretty beatable.
Yeah, pretty winnable. Absolutely.
Pretty winnable. Yeah. It's just really that kind of TCU and Arizona on the road is going to be those two that are kind of
in back-to-back weeks.
Yeah, are going to be kind of tricky. The only reason why I think Arizona is going to be less than TCU is because TCU has a great home atmosphere, and Arizona is kind of like our backyard basically. There's going to be plenty of Utah fans in Arizona.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that that's going to be kind of what as far as what I'm looking at when it comes to the schedule, that's what throws out to me. But yeah, we want to hear from you folks. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below regarding your Utah football schedule 2026. We want to hear from you. What stands out to you? Are you upset about the rivalry game not being on rivalry week? AJ doesn't seem to care about what you think about that. So go ahead and just let us know how much you hate him in the comments down below.
Please do.
No, man, I agree. The league cares about money. It all comes down to money, man. If they can make more money by moving that game up and putting it in a week where there's not any high-profile games in the conference, they're going to do it.
Absolutely.
They're going to do it every year.
Yeah.
And they're going to do it to the 2 teams that are the newest to the conference. One of the newer teams to the conference.
They're like, let's put out a rivalry week that we decide.
Yeah.
You know?
We've talked a lot on this channel over the last couple of weeks about what's going on with Utah going forward. I want to take a moment before we move on from Utah football to discuss favorite experiences from 2025. Obviously, there's a good win against West Virginia last year, but what would be your favorite experience from the 2025 season?
I just need you to go back in time in your memory to November 22nd, 2025.
I'm there.
I was actually there when number 12 Utah goes on to defeat Kansas State.
Humble brag.
51-47 at Rice-Eccles Stadium. They rally back from 12 points down in the 4th quarter Devin Dampier leads the Utes
That's so nuts.
with 4 total touchdowns, 2 passing, 2 rushing, scores the go-ahead touchdown with 56 seconds left. And the Utes defense just looks abysmal, gives up 472 yards. We couldn't stop anything. But Devin Dampier just pries us from the hands of defeat single-handedly and hands Utah the win.
It is really nice for Utah to have the defense play like absolute dog shit. Make sure you edit this when you part-time. And then have the offense carry the
beep in.
Yeah. Have the offense carry the game. I think that was a unique experience that we haven't seen in Utah football in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
So that was super awesome to see.
Yeah.
And I agree with you, man. I agree with you. I think it's a great moment in Utah football for last year. And, again, we talked about it last week. Hats off to the Utes from going from a losing season to a 10-2 season. I mean, that's just fantastic. You love to see it, and hopefully more to come. This transition year, I mean, I don't expect them to do better, but if we can get away with it without doing worse,
yeah,
that's a win in my opinion.
I mean, if you go 10-2 this season,
the schedule is shaping up for them to be 10-2.
10-2,
I only
maybe
see
even 11-1.
Yeah, I only see 2 potential losses on the schedule, in my opinion.
BYU, TCU.
Yeah.
I mean, those are the 2 games that if we win one of those, you're looking at, you know what I mean? Like you could look at very easily at an 11-1 season.
You can't lose to BYU this year.
No.
Since you're not playing Texas Tech, you're not playing Arizona State, you cannot
have to
lose
take that
to BYU.
win. Yeah.
Sorry, McKinley. You can let us know. You're like, hey, man, we're taking you down.
Yeah. But it was. I mean, that was such a great game. The Utes are in a position to, I mean, with Devin Dampier back and assuming he's healthy, and you've got Bird Ficklin, who's only going to come back better.
Right.
You've got some great offensive line prospects. Could be a really great season to watch Utah football, man.
Yeah. Some preview with the bowl game last year, the Vegas Bowl, seeing what this offense is going to look like.
I think it's a
Going to
great,
be a little bit more opened up, like you were mentioning.
I think so. I mean, you look at, and this was, obviously a Jason Beck offensive, he coordinated that game, but you have to wonder if the way that Morgan Scalley wants games called is different than the way Kyle Whittingham wants games called.
Oh,
it
can't
seemed
think about
like
it. I think it's
Scalley.
almost guaranteed.
Yeah, you seem like Scalley wanted to push the ball up the field and stretch the defense, and it seemed to me like Kyle Whittingham wanted the ball the field stretched horizontally rather than vertically.
Mm-hmm.
And Morgan Scalley's a defensive guy. He's like, what's going to stretch this defense out? What's going to put pressure on them? And if you've got to chase your wide receivers down vertically, it's going to help you run the football.
Yeah.
If there's a threat that they're going to go vertically, that's just how the game works. So I'm really excited for Morgan Scalley's play calls. I think the offensive coordinator, Kevin McGivern's going to do a great job. And go Utes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Gonna love to see it. Let's go ahead and jump into some comments here. We got one from McKinley Cutler saying, we all know year 2 Bear is going to be too much for the Utes to handle. Love
Easy.
it. I love it.
Easy.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good game. BYU's not slowing down.
No,
they haven't.
And Bear Bachmeier exceeded expectations far, far beyond. And it's crazy because every time I watched him, I was like, I don't know how this guy's so good, but he is. He just keeps going. He's not scared of the big plays. He's not scared of a big moment and taking the ball and running it and putting the team on his back. It was crazy to watch him all year long.
It always seems like every couple of years the Cougs have a quarterback that comes out of nowhere and just impresses the heck out of everybody.
Yeah.
It seems like it happens like every 4 or 5 years. McKinley, let me know if I'm right on that one. But it feels like every 4 years there's like this BYU quarterback, man, he looks pretty good. I'm like, yeah, it's 1 game and it's 2 games. I'm like, holy cow, man.
Okay, that was the season.
Yeah. Good year.
Yeah.
We got another comment here from Greg Hawkins, Channel Legend, saying, I have no expectations this year. It's a good way to keep it. Keep yourself happy,
Greg, I need you to have some positive expectations this year, buddy. Positive expectations. That's what we need.
Speaking of positive expectations, did you see how well my team auto-drafted in our MLB fantasy draft?
I didn't.
Dude, I got Judge and Vlad on my team. Super sick. Checked it out last week.
Yeah. Hey, Greg, is there something we can do to fix that?
Yeah.
Like,
I checked out.
We need to know.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. I was gonna plan to be there for the draft, but I had something pop up at like a last minute emergency kind of thing, and then all of a sudden I looked at my team. I'm like, crap, I forgot, couldn't draft. And I look, I'm like, oh, hey, don't know if I can even have done that well.
That's crap.
Anyway, all right. Once again, folks, we do have a channel specifically dedicated for your Utah football team. This is Utah Football DNA. This is a channel we dedicated specifically for your Utah football. All of our content for Utah football will be placed here first. So if you have not yet, check out the link in the description down below. That will bring you to that channel. So if you are following us for our Utes content, be sure to check out that channel. It'll be linked in the description if you're watching this on our live stream or in the audio.
And hit subscribe.
That's right.
Hit subscribe. I think we're at 99 subs right now. We really need to hit 100.
Yeah,
Get us
99 subs. You know, it's a shame, man.
And
we
there's
really
such good content on that channel.
Yeah.
Like when you go there, watch some of the videos. We called so much stuff last year. It's great.
And we missed a few things, which
We
was
missed
pretty
a few.
hilarious.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
But yeah, we'd love to hear from you guys. Let us know in the comments down below on that one for sure. What you're expecting for the Utes going forward. All right, let's go ahead and pivot on over and talk a little bit about your Utah Jazz. Oh my goodness, AJ. Oh my goodness. So before we get into the content, we need to do a mid-show cheers for the absolute just amazing trade that happened for the Utah Jazz. Cheers to you guys. Did you by chance watch Locked On Utes today?
I did not actually.
I had to turn it off, man. 90 seconds in, I had to turn it off.
Why?
Locke would not stop shouting and cheering and screaming his little heart out, man.
He's
I'm
so
just like-
excited.
I'm like, okay, dude, this is super distracting. Anyway, but yeah, so for those of you who don't know, every week we do a little pre-show. McKinley Cutler joining in on the cheers there. Thank you very much, McKinley.
Absolutely.
Let us know your apple juice of choice in the comments down below there. We actually, in the chat, jump in there and let us know your apple juice of choice. So we do a little pre-show thing every week, and we were trying to talk about the subjects to discuss for the Utah Jazz.
It was brutal.
Yeah. AJ wrote down.
Are they still in there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
still in there. They're still in there. I got it right here.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
Yeah. So AJ wrote down what the Jazz need to do defensively.
That's one of the things that I was like, hey, this is a big topic.
And we were just like talking about it. And we're like, it's something we do need to talk about, but the Jazz aren't going to do anything. They're not trying to win any games here.
Yeah.
So, what are they going to do? Boy, howdy, did they do something, AJ. Do you want to break down the trade?
Absolutely.
Okay. You run it.
I mean, the Jazz made the biggest trade that they've made in, 10 years? I mean, as far as an incoming player?
Oh, gosh, got to be more than that, dude.
I mean, maybe
Locke, David Locke, what's his name?
This might be the
Hoops Nerd
biggest
guy.
The biggest trade in Utah Jazz history.
Ooh, pump the brakes on that one. Pump the brakes. You weren't there from this time because this is OG fandom, Jazz fandom. This is the biggest trade since Jeff Hornacek.
Okay. But was Jeff Hornacek a stud when they traded for him?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I don't remember that.
Gosh, dude, learn your history,
okay,
bro.
That's my bad.
Learn your history.
My bad. You know what I mean?
This actually could go down as an even better trade depending on how his contract plays out over the next 5 years. But yeah, absolutely. The greatest trade in Jazz history over at least the last 2 decades. I'd have to agree with you on that one. Since Horny was traded to the Jazz. I have to agree with you on that one. Okay. Wholeheartedly. But yeah, go ahead and break down the trade, man. Let us know what happened.
So Memphis Grizzlies have sent their star forward, Jaren Jackson Jr. They also sent John Konchar, Jock Landale, Vince Williams to the Jazz for Walter Clayton Jr., Kyle Anderson, Taylor Hendricks, George Niang, and 3 future first-round draft picks.
Yeah, and to McKinley's point here on this one, I really like this one. Holy crap, we didn't have to give up our picks, any of our future picks other than 2027.
Yep.
Yeah, agreed. We didn't have to give up that coveted 8 or above pick that we're, which you think would be part of this trade.
Yeah.
One of the elites, he's won an all defensive player of the year award.
Yeah.
This guy's been an all-star.
2-time NBA all-star, 23 Kia defensive player of the year.
Yeah, this guy is a absolute stud. This guy, we're not signing this dude in free agency.
No.
The Jazz don't have a chance in signing him in free agency.
No.
So this was an excellent move. Now, does it hurt really bad for me in my heart to see Walter Clayton Jr. Go? Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You before I was watching him win a title with Florida. I was telling you, I was texting you from Wingers being like, hey, dude, we need to get this Walter Clayton dude.
Yeah.
We need to get him. But, you know, apparently the Jazz just felt like, and honestly, I agree with him, man. Dude, I got to say, so what's your thoughts on this trade? Break down your thoughts on what you have on this one.
I think that this was, I mean, quite obviously, this moves the Jazz out of rebuild mode and into we've made the turn.
Mm-hmm.
We have enough talent on this team that we need to get talent. Jaren Jackson Jr. is massive because he's a fantastic defensive player. He's averaging 19 points a game, 5.8 rebounds, 1.9 assists, a block and a half a game. You pair him next year with Walker Kessler, who's averaging 3.5 a game, maybe not that high, but you see my point. You're in the 5 to 6 blocks per game.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a great defensive player. Jaren Jackson Jr. is a very special player. He was drafted number 4 overall in 2018. And him and John Morant really turned the Grizzlies from a lottery team to a playoff team.
Yeah, they were fine in the West, remember?
Yeah, I mean, he's that guy. This dude's got it. He can shoot it from anywhere. You know, he's a career 35% 3-point shooter. So it's not like you're just going to leave him out there by himself. You know, he'll get you. And dude, I am so excited. I can't wait to see this guy in a Jazz uniform. I am so excited to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. 100% agree with you on that one. One of the things I want to do, I want to come back to McKinley's comment here.
The starred one.
Yeah, the starred one.
Yeah.
That we didn't know we can do, which we'll cover here in just a second. But before we get into that, I want to talk about this. Like, have you ever seen such a win-win trade?
No.
Like,
No, I feel like this was really, really even across the board because Memphis got some good players.
Yeah.
In Taylor Hendricks, who was a number 10 overall pick. They got Walter Clayton Jr., who was a first-round pick and clearly a stud. I think Clayton had to be involved in this because that's a player that Memphis is very interested in, knowing they could potentially move away from John Morant this trade season.
Right, which is till tomorrow, which is the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, it's one of the most, I mean, who knows what's going to happen with that unprotected Suns pick in 6 years from now?
Yeah.
You know, the Suns weren't supposed to be good this year, and they're in the middle of the top, somewhere in that range in the West right now. Gosh, man, like I mean, obviously the Jazz get an all-star forward for the next 4 years, 4 seasons. He immediately makes this team a playoff team next year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is across the board, barring health, of course,
Yeah.
and real health, not Utah Jazz health. Yeah, we aren't signing this type of caliber of player in free agency. This is the best power forward the Jazz has had since Boozer.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
And even then, this guy's a little bit better, in my opinion, because I don't think Boozer shot 35% from 3.
No. No, he did not.
Yeah, I think, which is kind of interesting. Memphis actually created a record-setting mid-level exception with this trade.
$27.5 million?
$28.9 million.
28.9, yeah.
That they got from this. And also the draft capital. This puts them in number 3 as far as future draft capital behind OKC, the Nets. It pushes them ahead of us because we gave away 3 of our picks for that. Not 3 of our picks, but 3 of the picks we controlled. So that pushes them ahead of us for that, which is huge for them. And obviously, like you mentioned, Walter Clayton Jr., honestly, the Jazz obviously saw something in him, but the fact that he was a senior in college, you know, his development is a little bit farther ahead.
Mm-hmm.
They obviously saw what they expect to see. Is this guy going to be a rotation level player in the NBA? Absolutely. Can he be a starting point guard in the NBA for a team that's not competing for title or conference championship? Sure.
Yeah.
You know, I see him being capable of that. Do I see him as being the future for this team? Absolutely not. Not at the point guard position.
Especially not with Keontae George's emergence.
Yeah, and as well as he's playing as that, that's a conversation for another time. We'll get to that. But yeah, I think it's just overall, it's a great, great trade on both sides, man. Like, yeah, we gave up some picks and we gave up some young talent, but if that's all it took, I mean, remember what the Timberwolves gave up for Rudy? Remember what the Cavs gave up for Donovan?
Yeah.
Like, that's insane. We've traded Rudy Gobert for 7 first-round draft picks. Now Jaren Jackson Jr. and who was the other one?
You got the pick
And
that
Walker
became-
Kessler.
Yeah.
No. The Walker Kessler came from the Donovan Mitchell trade. But yeah, there's some crazy stat that we traded away for 7 first-round picks, Keontae George, and Jaren Jackson.
Yeah.
I'm just like, wow, that's quite a move. Let's go ahead and show this comment here because I wanted to get to this. The front line of Kessler and JJJ is going to be nasty. Combined for 6 blocks on game per average. To your point there before, yeah, and just think about, dude, Walker Kessler, Triple J, and Larry Markkinen.
They're big.
That
This is a big lineup.
Oh, and by the way, you have Ace Bailey as the 2 guard.
Yeah, at 6'9".
At 6'9", with a 7-foot wingspan, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
So, and then so Keontae George is the smallest guy on the court.
At 6'4".
Yeah. So, which by the way makes me happier than a pig in you know what, because holy cow, I have complained so much for so long that the Utah Jazz are just like addicted to these undersized offensive heavy guards.
Yeah.
Even Donovan Mitchell, when he was drafted, what was his big thing coming out of the league?
Yeah.
He's a great defensive player. As soon as he got in the league, didn't play defense anymore. Like, so I'm just really nice to see. And then Keontae George got benched for not playing defense.
Yeah.
And so now he's like literally our rising star coming right out of the league. And just, it's super great to see that lineup of Keontae George, Ace Bailey, and then you have Larry Markkinen at the 3, a 7-footer 3, which is insane. And anybody who says, oh, we're going to put somebody else at the 3 and then Larry Markkinen's going to be, no, that's where you put it. You put him in a 3.
But the thing is you don't have to necessarily run a traditional 1 through 5 offense. You've got 3 big guys on the court.
In the West with Victor Wembanyama on the Spurs,
you have
3 7-footers on this team. That's a great way to kind of shut down that advantage.
Yeah. It's
a huge way to shut down an advantage because everybody else in the league is like, how are we going to compete with Victor Wembanyama on the court?
Yeah.
That's how you do it. You had 3 7-footers at him, and literally every single one of them outweighs him by at least 50 pounds. So that's super awesome to see.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have, again, Ace Bailey, who is, showing some real signs of being a great young talent.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's performing ahead of what he should be expected of at this point as a rookie. I don't care what the rising star people think, but I think he's doing great. And then obviously Keontae George is our budding star. Like we expected him to be last year, he's happening this year, which is great to see. So, yeah, I absolutely love this trade all around. It is amazing. But what the key things this does, and this is probably why David Locke is like freaking out, is this signifies that we have an end, my friend.
Yes.
The end is in sight.
Yes.
The problem is now we just added a really great player to a team that's not trying to win games for the rest of the year. We've got about 25 games left in the season, and we just added one of the better big shooting big men who also blocks a lot of shots to this team. I know he's day-to-day before the trade deadline, but my guess is he's not going to be day-to-day anymore.
Right.
So
my question for you, do you think the Jazz try to win out? Like try to win some games?
No, absolutely not. Why would you do that? It actually makes no sense to try and compete now.
So do you just put him out there and try to gain as much cohesiveness as a unit as you can? How are you going to lose?
Oh, the Jazz will find ways to lose. And honestly, if the Jazz get hit with another $500,000, $5 million fine, I don't care what it is. You pay it and you move on.
Yeah.
Take it. If you lose a draft pick, who cares? As long as it's not this draft pick, you take it and you move on. You take it on the chin and you move on. The Jazz are in a perfect position. This draft is heavy in frontline talent, and these are, outside of AJ Dubas, there's a lot of good guards involved in this one.
Yeah.
So if, Keontae George isn't your point guard of the future and you want to move Ace Bailey down to the 3, and kind of start moving around with some of that things, like what happens if Walker Kessler isn't with the Jazz next year, which, by the way, let's put that on hold, guys. The Jazz are not letting Kessler walk. Anybody who offers him anything, the Jazz are going to match, even a toxic contract. The Jazz are matching.
Oh, yeah.
The Jazz are not letting Walker Kessler walk away. So I've seen chats like that in some of the other shows that I watch, and some of the other people are talking about like, oh, the Jazz can let him walk. The thing about Triple J is he is elite as a power forward, not as a center.
Yeah.
When he got to be the power forward with what's his name, Oh gosh, love this dude.
Steven Adams.
Thank you, Steven Adams as the center. Like he was like elite.
Yeah.
Give him some space. Obviously, shooting 35% from three. You don't want that guy stuck in the key the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, in the paint the whole time. So, yeah, there's just no way they're not going to match it for Walker Kessler in my mind.
Yeah.
If they're going to let him go in a test restricted free agency. I'd be surprised if they might offer him something right out the gate and come to a deal beforehand, but they're going to see what he gets and they're going to match it, and they're going to be okay with it.
Yeah. Did you see that the Jazz already moved Jock Landale, who was included in the trade?
Yeah, I did see this. I didn't really see him. I mean, outside of Triple J, maybe what's his name? Vince Williams Jr. has a shot to make this rotation.
Yeah. And then the Jazz traded for Lonzo Ball.
From the Bulls.
No, from the Cavaliers.
Sorry, from the Cavaliers. Gosh, I don't know why I keep doing that.
And they're projected to just waive him. They're just going to.
Oh, so we're going back to waiving and making things easier for their teams now, huh?
Yeah,
that's what we're doing. Gosh, I thought we got away from that. We need to get through some of our comments here. Let's see here. We'll get back to that talk where we start talking some baseball there. Let's see here. I like everyone is a little bit upset about. I think everybody's a little bit upset about the draft. We'll get to that here in a second. Allow me to crack open a beer and enjoy the Triple J trade. Absolutely. Cheers to that. Again, why not?
Yeah, why not?
You know, another cheers in the show could always be helpful. You know, I follow a Dodgers YouTuber who does a shoey every time the Dodgers win the World Series. He also does a shoey. Do you know what a shoey is?
Like a beer out of his shoe?
Yeah, he pulls a White Claw into his shoe and drinks it right out of his.
That's not a shoey. And
that's literally like a Jordan. Like he's doing a brand new pair of Jordans. It's great. Yeah. So I get another comment here from McKinley Cutler. As BYU fan, apple juice of choice is in fact apple juice. Absolutely, dude. Are you going? What are we doing? Are we doing? Artisan?
Minute Maid.
Artisan? Are we doing concentrate? Break it down, dude. We're apple juice aficionados over here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So then this is the comment that goes perfectly what we were talking about. Are we done tanking finally?
Yeah.
Yes. Going into next year, I think they're going to find any reason. Gastro distress. I mean, he's got a thigh contusion, basically a thigh bruise right now, which kept him day to day. I'm willing to bet you that's going to keep him day to day for a couple more games before you see him suit up in a Jazz uniform. And then you'll probably see some of the recurring injuries from Larry Markkinen. Any back-to-backs, they're probably sitting some of their key guys. There's no point in going for it, man, and trying to make a play-in game at this point. Like, are you just sacrificing that pick where you could potentially pull a Spurs and go from projected 10 to number 1? Like, you're not going to do that, right? You're obviously not going to have the best odds to win the overall pick. You haven't been that bad this year. But you've been bad enough to where you can finally you might find yourself with the top 5 pick. And honestly, this is last year they got to try for that. I just don't think there's any way they sacrifice that. This is the trade they had to make it. This was the time they had to make it because if they waited until the summer, the asking price for Triple J is going to be sky high. I think this is the only time you can make this trade. But I don't think they're going to sacrifice anything this year. What do you think?
I think the Jazz might win more games than we hope. I don't.
They already have, dude. They are.
Well, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Is like I think they could be a potential fringe.
They just won against the Pacers, man. I'm like, guys, they only had 7 players on the team, and they still beat the Pacers.
Yeah,
suited up 7 guys and still won.
7 guys and just balled out too.
What are you doing?
Isaiah Collier goes off for 23 assists.
Yeah, and talks about defense in the postgame system. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? I love it though. I love it. Keep it up. Keep it up, Isaiah. But yeah, dude, I absolutely love it, dude. I love what the Jazz did here, and it's a key sign that this team is definitely ready to move on, ready to move past this. And like you said, I've said since we've been talking about this, even going back to before our hiatus, that this is the last year of the tank. That pick is far too important. This is the best draft class since 2003. That's the Melo, LeBron, draft.
Yeah,
Dwayne Wade. Like, this is the best draft class since then. You cannot give up the opportunity to potentially have a top 10 pick in that.
Yeah.
Right? So I just think that the Jazz are going to do everything they can to lose as many games as possible. Did this hurt their chances? Absolutely. But yeah, I don't think they're going to try and push all the chips in the middle and try and win some games and make a play-in tournament just to get bounced. That makes no sense. Get a good draft pick. for this year, and then you can develop him in garbage minutes next year, and run with his team and see what they have, and see how they can win games without having to carry that dead weight of trying to lose.
Yeah. Yeah, like when you actually turn it on and say, okay, we need to win games.
Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely love to see it. Triple J, former block champion, averaged about 3 blocks per game in his Defensive Player of the Year. And yeah, I mean, he's going to be splitting some of those with some of the guys with the Jazz. But
yeah, I mean, it helps to have Walker Kessler back there. All of a sudden, guys are questioning every decision they make when they go into the paint. It's like, oh, I forgot Walker's back there. And then, Triple J comes up and he's just like, boom.
By the way, that's a T-shirt. We need to make that T-shirt. Triple J. We got to make that T-shirt.
That is a good one.
We're going to throw that one up. It'll be in our store here shortly, guys. But yeah, man, I 100% agree, dude. I think it's a great pickup there. And I think it's going to be worth it to see, what we're going to do down there. Because you've got 3 7-footers, and then you got, ace. Dude, it's just a huge lineup. Yeah. And then we pull out Keontae George. Then we put in Isaiah Collier, who will just bully you off your spot. And it's got elite passing capability.
Elite passing. And the thing is like, if you don't stay in front of him, he will run the ball just like Craig Bolerjack, right up your chest.
Oh, yeah.
And put it in the basket.
Did you see the game against, I think it was against Houston or the Raptors? I can't remember what. But Walker Kessler got a block, right? He reached up to the top, just barely got it, so it wasn't a goaltend. Hit the block. It went down to somebody else. They fed it to him, and he got triple teamed. And he threw the ball off the backboard and dunked it himself.
Oh, again, Laurie did.
Yeah, Larry Markkinen. Yeah. This was an insane play.
You actually text me, you're like, Laurie with that play. And then I wasn't actually watching, but I saw I pulled it up and it was a highlight, like everything.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And and in my mind, I'm like, okay, this guy, he's playing a power forward in that position, in that role with that game.
But he's so ready to win, dude.
He is so ready.
He's so ready to win.
He looked like the only NBA-ready talent on the court at that point.
Yeah.
Even though we're playing in the middle of an NBA game, which is sad. It's sad we're in a league where half the team is trying to win a championship and the other half of the league is trying to lose. Everybody talks about baseball and how it's, being ruined. The NBA is worse, man. Nobody plays defense. The draft is rigged, and then we got to have the teams, even though you can only get the best option you have is, 20% chance to win a number 1 overall pick, even if you're the worst team in the league. We still have half the team trying to tank to, not win games. It's absolutely insane to me. Anyway, that's my old man moment. I'm done. We also have a couple more comments here. Let's see here. It helps that the Wizards just traded for AD, one less guy in free agency to link to Kessler. Absolutely. Let's see here. Just don't play them and pay them fines Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't care about the fines. Let them come. Let's see here. We got Aaron Henry. Sorry, bro. Sorry I'm late. Hey, we're glad you're here, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll take you tuning in any day.
I agree. The draft class coming up is a lot of talent. Yeah, absolutely, man. We just can't give it up. Can't give it up. I'll hear it all day long, man. People are like, oh no, I just want the Jazz to win. I want the Jazz to win too. But what was the point of losing as bad as we've been losing if we don't lose for the rest of the season and get a decent draft pick out of it? We got Keontae, sure. We got Ace Bailey, sure. But in all reality, we still need that one big win in the draft, in my opinion. A top 5 pick, top 3 pick if we can get it. Yeah. And this class would be insane.
Maybe we can go like the Mavericks, dude. Make the play in and get the number 1 pick.
Oh, dude, that's why I think the team is rigged. I think the NBA is rigged. Another way that's going to prove the NBA is rigged, this was something I was watching on a former player's podcast. He says, if AJ DeBanza ends up with the Jazz, the NBA is rigged. And the guy's like, come on, man, what are you talking about? After Luka Doncic gets traded to the Lakers, all of a sudden the Dallas Mavericks gets the number 1 overall pick. You can't tell me that's not rigged. AD to the Lakers, and then all of a sudden, New Orleans gets Zion. He's like, this stuff happens every single year. He's like, there's no way that if it is possible for AJ DeBanza to ends up in Utah, he won't. Absolutely. Like, he's already the 5th highest paid guy on the payroll as it is. Probably 6th now because of JJ, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
JJ's making $35 million this year.
Yeah, I think AJ DeBanza is only making 7 or 8. So,
yeah.
Anyway, he played prep school here in Utah, signed with BYU, making about $8 million a year, playing for BYU for 4 months of basketball. yeah, if he ends up in Utah, that'd be hilarious.
I'm fine with it.
I'm all right with it. Let's let the rest
Yeah.
of the league cry. We've cried enough. We've gotten
Yeah.
so screwed on that.
Yeah. Try being a Jazz fan rest of the league.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We also got another comment here from Aaron saying 35 mil would be nice. Yeah, I'm not gonna whine about it.
Aaron, you're going to need to grow another like foot and a half, dude. You're not quite there yet.
Did you see what was it? Gosh, the football player that was whining about $100 million contract not being enough to feed his family. Did you see this?
No. Dear
Oh
God,
my
no.
gosh. He's like, well, first of all, half that's gone because of taxes. Now you're looking at 50 million. Now I got to pay my agent, my trainer, and my promoter or whatever. He's like, now you're down to like 30 million for 5 years.
Oh, no.
And you're like,
What am I going to do with 30 million?
he's like, and then you got your family you got to take care of. And you're like, even after you bought a house for everybody in your immediate family and bought yourself a vacation home,
Still have $15 million.
you're still well over 10 million. You're like, oh yeah, well that goes by fast. I'm like, okay, yeah, I can understand being rich is a problem,
Yeah.
but that's a problem I'm willing to have.
Yeah.
So gosh, was it Odell? It was Odell Beckham Jr., wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think so. Anyway, before we move on from basketball, a couple things I want to touch on real quick. Did you see the James Harden trade to the Cavs?
I did see that.
Dude, what are the Cavaliers thinking?
They're not.
And did you hear that like Donovan Mitchell kind of forced this trade? Did you hear about this?
Well, they moved away from Darius
Garland.
Garland. Yeah.
Yeah, which by the way, dumb move. Absolutely dumb move. If I just told you, okay, 35-year-old former MVP playing at an elite level right now versus a two-time All-Star under the age of 25 with like 3 years left to control. Which one are you taking?
Yeah. I'm taking Darius Garland every single day.
Yeah, they're making the exact same amount of money, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, why would you do that? That makes absolutely no sense.
Ever since the NBA changed the travel rule, James Harden has been absolutely worthless.
Yeah.
His
I'd argue
seasons-
even with that, AJ, even before they changed the rules, in big game moments in the conference finals,
he's nowhere to be found.
nowhere to be found. Shooting 5 for 16 with 9 points in
Yeah.
Game 7 for Philly. But yeah, I just like. First of all, Donovan Mitchell's never made it to a conference final, and James Harden's been known as a big game choker.
Yeah.
What is adding James Harden to a Donovan Mitchell team gonna do for you guys?
I really don't. I
You
don't
know,
understand.
I will eat the humble pie if I'm wrong and the Cavs make it to the conference championship and win and make it to the NBA finals. I'll be like, hey, I was wrong. But neither Donovan Mitchell nor James Harden have proven to be the type of team that can compete for a championship yet.
No. And James Harden's on the tail end of his career, still making crazy money. But he's not the player he used to be. I mean, James Harden used to be, you give it to him every single time and let him shoot it because he would take 4.5 steps and shoot an open three.
Right.
Once they changed the rule and you can't take 4.5 steps and jump and shoot. And
They also call playoff games differently. So those little weak little contact fouls,
yeah,
he doesn't get those in the playoffs. So he's never
Yeah.
been a playoff performer.
yeah,
So I don't know, man. It's just a dumb trade. I love me some Donovan Mitchell, man. Spider's our dude, right?
absolutely.
But he's never made to a conference final.
Yeah.
And your goal was to add somebody who's going to demand the ball at the guard position just as much as he would. He's also
You're going to
never
take the ball
performed.
out of Donovan Mitchell's hand.
Yeah, for a guy who's also never performed in the playoffs really that well.
And Harden, in these last couple of years, his whole MO has been more towards, can I pass the ball and be more effective as an assist guy? You know, obviously he has offensive talent. He can shoot the ball. He can draw fouls. You know, he used to be a 30 points per game kind of guy, but that's not his game anymore. Like, so now what are you going to do? Is your whole plan to push all your chips into James Harden? It's crazy to me.
I love this. Aaron Jock, that $100 million contract wouldn't feed AJ for a year.
Dude, that wouldn't feed me for a minute.
Dude, all those games you go to.
Do you know how much Jack in the Box I eat?
Dude, cool.
I love
Cool
Jack in the
choice.
Box, dude.
Cool choice.
Yeah.
He was at a Jazz Suite game the other day. What can I
Oh
say?
yeah, that was true. But that was because I have a cool wife.
Yeah,
That wasn't
just
me.
saying, this guy's
Yeah.
balling, man. This guy's balling.
Yeah.
And let's see here. Yeah, he was on his tail end 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Here, James Harden, man, this is his fourth time in 5 seasons demanding a trade.
Oh, but it came out today that he didn't demand a trade. He wanted the Clippers to do what was best for them.
No. What happened was, and I honestly can't blame him on this one. I actually kind of agree with James Harden this one. He took a team-friendly deal with the Clippers, and was expecting to get a max 2-year deal this time.
Yeah.
And they didn't give it to him.
Yeah.
They weren't going to give it to him. So, yeah, he wants out. He wants to go make it back. He's playing really, really well. He's their best player this year so far.
Which is crazy because the Clippers are horrible.
Yeah. Well, they're doing really well right now.
Oh, yeah, they're actually on a tear right now.
Yeah, they're doing quite well.
They won like 15 in a row or something. That guy had to eat his tweet. Did you see that?
Yeah, that was great. He had to eat his tweet. Congrats for actually doing it, man. That's fantastic.
That is.
You love when a guy actually comes out and says something like that and actually owns up to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's in having one of his best years at the end of his career. He wants to make one more bag.
Yeah. He
took a team-friendly deal for your team, and so you guys can continue to, pay people under the table and get busted by the NBA for, tax evasion or whatever, salary tax evasion.
Salary evasion.
My gosh, that thing's gonna be nuts.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, ooh, what about the Jays? What happens if that contract gets voided? Do the Jazz go after Kawhi Leonard? I'm like, absolutely not. We don't actually need a player that's injured that often. We only want players that are fake injured that often.
Kawhi Leonard again, tail end 2 years ago.
Yeah, exactly.
No thanks.
Yeah. What do you think about the Anthony Davis to the Wizards trade?
Who cares?
I do, man.
He's played in like 8 games this year, dude. Out of 40.
You know what this You know what this tells you? How absolutely ridiculous that Luka Doncic trade was.
Oh yeah.
You open the floodgates to let anybody make a bid for that player, and you are sitting pretty right now.
Yeah.
Cooper Flag, cool, great, future franchise player, right? But you could have gotten a franchise player, picks, and young talent for Luka. You could have been stacked. And now you trade away the one player that was the reason you made that trade. You're basically just saying that whole thing was a complete.
Easy, Darren.
You're basically saying that whole trade was a complete mistake.
Yeah.
Which everybody already knew, and was a nice confirmation there, but still, absolutely bonkers to me, in my opinion, that they literally just traded this guy away. What, a year ago?
Yeah.
Last offseason was the Luka trade that happened? No, last year at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
So it's been a year, and you're already trading this guy.
And he's played like 20 games for him total.
Yeah, and hurt his hand against Larry Walker. Sorry, man. When you get down low, that's where the men play. You want to play with the men, you got to be ready. You know? Can't have little hand injuries. Anyway, so we want to hear from you folks. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. As a reminder, folks, we did just launch a channel specifically for your Utah Jazz called Utah Jazz DNA. Look how centered that one is. That's nice.
That's a good one.
This is a channel that we designed specifically for your Utah Jazz content. If you have not yet, check out that channel. A link will be in the description down below. If you're watching this on our main channel, DNA Sports Recap, or listening to the podcast, that link will be in the description. So be sure to check it out. Utah Jazz DNA. We'll be giving away a jersey once this channel hits 1,000 subscribers. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on that jersey giveaway.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Major League Baseball, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right, man. So lots of good stuff to talk about when it comes to Major League Baseball. First of all, what a great time of year, man. What a great time of year. We have the NBA is coming into the tail end. We got the Super Bowl.
Yep.
You got the WBC, which is what we're going to talk about first. We also have FIBA, and the Winter Olympics. All in the next 6 months.
That's a lot.
That's a lot going on.
That's a lot going on.
That's a lot going on, AJ.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we wanted to talk a little bit about the WBC because we talked a little bit about this last week, but some more stuff has come out since then. And let's face it, dude, this is easily the greatest international baseball tournament that's out there. And we saw when we talked about the team that the U.S. is putting out there, we're showing that the U.S. is really trying. Well, we're running into a little bit of problems with the rest of the teams here when it comes to insurance. Have you seen this?
Yeah, I saw a little bit about this. Absolutely.
Okay. So for those of you who don't know, the WBC will often have players are going to be playing in Major League Baseball that are under contract. And typically those teams will require that player to get insurance to protect them from injury while they're playing in the tournament. So that way, if they get hurt,
tons of lost revenue. Absolutely.
The team isn't stuck, holding the bag when it comes to their salary. However, a lot of players are running into a little bit of issue regarding getting coverage, and it seems to be a finger pointed in a certain direction. What do you have on this?
Oh, I mean, that's exactly it. Is there's multiple players that, purely based on the insurance portion of, teams trying to obtain coverage on certain players that they're not allowing them to play in WBC. And I mean, I think it's like you understand from an insurance perspective, obviously, that these players are worth a lot of money to these, respective franchises. But, at what point should a player be able to go out there and play for their country if that's what they choose to do?
You think that would be underneath the contract considerations when you sign the player?
Absolutely.
If you're signing an international talent, hey, do you plan on playing for the WBC? Yes, I'd like to. Okay. Well, based off of that, we want to make sure that we put in some protections in the contract. You think that would be something that would be involved in that. But man, isn't it funny how baseball mirrors real life?
Yeah.
Like, think about it right now. I've actually had some experience with this. You get in any kind of you have any medical issue, or you get into a car accident or anything like that, and boy, those insurance companies are finding any possible reason they have not to pay out that claim.
Yeah.
Absolutely anything. And meantime, while they're not paying any claims, they're jacking out the premiums at the same time. It's funny how baseball reflects life in that way. Now, some of these are clearly obvious, right? Like Carlos Correa, dude, this guy signed 2 max contracts in one offseason. Both teams backed out of it because of his health. Right? So, gee, I wonder why.
So trying to get insurance on this guy.
Yeah, gee, I wonder why the insurance coverage isn't there for you, Carlos Correa.
Yeah.
Jose Altuve, dude, you're old. You're not even playing second base anymore. You're trying to play in left field. You're underneath MLB contract. Yeah, I can understand that. You're old. You're over the age. Jose Abreu, again, also a little bit on the older side. Edwin Diaz, hello. Did anybody remember last WBC when that guy was celebrating on the mound and tore his knee up and missed all of next season? Yeah, you're a health risk, dude. Dodgers just signed you to the fattest contract as a reliever in history. If you cannot be insured, guess what? You're not playing, bro. Ellie De La Cruz for the Dominican. This one's a little weird. Not sure what was the issue there. But a lot of these, like Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Puerto Rico. And then Puerto Rico has another 5 other players that were denied coverage. And then you have Venezuela, who is Miguel Rojas. Again, dude, you're old, and you were already just saying how you were injured going into the Game 6 of the World Series.
Yeah.
You were playing 3 months ago, bro. Playing hurt. You're wondering why insurance is denying you. Yeah, they're looking for any reason they possibly can to deny you. Do I think this is specifically an issue dealing with Latin American countries? No, I don't think so.
Right.
I just think that there's happens to be a lot more players, and they're basically, part of my business of my day job and what I work for, the big portion of it is risk.
Yeah.
Right? And analyzing risk. And when I look at all the players that have been hurt over the last 2 years and how many of them are coming from these teams, from Puerto Rico, from Venezuela, from the DR, and these players getting hurt in the tournament over the last 3 or 4 times this tournament's been run, look at the numbers, and the risk is there. Absolutely. So am I surprised? Absolutely not. But, is it not fair? Yeah, it's still not fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
these guys just want to go out and play. It helps them get an opportunity to stay in shape and go out and take some live reps and maybe play with players that they played with growing up or their idols in one of these tournaments. And
a lot of these players, this is more important to them than winning the World Series.
Absolutely.
Especially for Latin American countries.
Yeah.
Like I said, insurance companies are doing everything they can. This is anything new. Last time this happened. Who's pitching in the WBC this year that didn't pitch last time? Think about the GOAT.
Clayton Kershaw?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The guy's 2 years older, and now he's pitching for the WBC. Do you wonder why that is? Because he's not tied to a $15 million MLB contract.
Right.
So it happens to everybody. There are some, teams playing for USA that are dealing with this exact same thing. It really, really sucks. And it really, really sucks that Puerto Rico is being hit so hard. They're hosting the games this year, and they're threatening to not even field a team. They're threatening just to not even play in the tournament, even though they're hosting the games, because at this point they have 7 players that have been denied insurance coverage. They're going to have a hard time filling a competitive team. And when baseball is in a resurgence right now, and it's been more popular than it's ever been since the steroid era, USA is actually giving a crap and sending a stacked team over there as well. It just sucks that we're not getting the best players from all the best players from all the other teams available, and all this can do is hurt baseball and hurt its growth.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's really the only thing it's going to do is, the reason you tune in to WBC is because you want to see the top players playing for their country and playing in really competitive baseball games, right? It's a whole different mix that you never get to see when you're watching Major League Baseball. You get to see guys playing with players from their eras, right? Like I just said, like their idols, players that they might have, watched and wanted to play with growing up that you don't play on the same team in the major leagues. It's a really cool opportunity for these players, and then for them to not get insurance. All it does is hurt the game of baseball down the stretch.
Absolutely. 100% agree.
Yeah.
Got a comment here from Greg Hawkins. MLB didn't deny anyone. They built a system where insurers decide who's allowed to play, so the result is still on them. Yeah, I agree. It's not on Major League Baseball. It's on. It's really funny. Actually, it's a good point, Greg, and I wanted to ask you about this. Is it possible? Is it even possible that if Yamamoto or Ohtani was denied insurance, that Japan still wouldn't cover the bill?
Doubtful.
Not a chance. Not a chance.
Yeah.
Japan will be like, don't worry about it. We'll cover it.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, especially if we got a chance to win the WBC again.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's unfortunate a lot of these other countries aren't going to have the money and the prestige from behind their government to throw at that team to make sure. But yeah, there are certain teams out there that have country pride that are willing to pay for it, And I just think that's funny. Now, yes, Roki Sasaki's not on the team. It's not an insurance issue. The team actually really wanted him to stick around and, actually develop. He needs a spring training if he wants to develop into a starter. So it's a little different for Roki. But yeah, I just think it's interesting for sure. It's on them. It's on the teams that want them to play. It's not necessarily on MLB for sure. It's not on MLB for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and pivot on over. Let's talk a little bit about, dude, what is going on with your Braves, AJ? They have a relatively quiet offseason.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I mean, they haven't made a ton of moves. I mean, they, like you said, been relatively quiet. A few, additions here and there. And, you wonder in this era of Braves baseball where you're questioning, like, is this a fringe team? Like, why can't we get over this hump and make a push into a deep push into the playoffs? We have some talented pitchers. We have some good players all over the field. And, it's like we're just one good signing away from really making a solid push. And you got to wonder, like, why? Why aren't we making a push to get and sign some of these big deal players? And I think it leads to, where's the money going to come from?
This is great. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Braves are dealing with some TV money for the local TV revenue. You're the one who wanted to talk about this story, right? So you want to break it down for us?
Yeah. I mean, so the Braves have not yet announced where or how Braves fans are going to watch the games this season.
Locally.
Locally. Well, I mean, period. They don't have a TV deal at all.
Well, they still have the out of market team, so it's only the local.
Right.
That's the issue.
So the Braves, Tigers, and Angels all ended their local TV agreements with Mainstream Sports. And, Mainstream operates the FanDuel Sports Network, all those regional channels. So none of those teams have revealed any new local broadcast plans or interim coverage. The Braves have been really, really kind of hush on the whole thing. They talked about how they know fans are disappointed and they were kind of preparing for this to happen. And all they did was hint that there's a new era in Braves broadcasting coming. It's looking like they're going to potentially create their own channel.
CG route.
Yeah. But really they don't know. And with that being unknown, you don't know where that revenue is going to come from. And you can already see that it's affecting the team and what they're going to do.
Oh yeah, yeah. Wanted to tie that into the other subject we were talking about. There are 6 other teams that are part of that that were part of that Main Street team that kind of wrapped into the ball's right there, dude.
I know. I just saw that.
Yeah. So the other 6 teams that are part of the 9 from the Main Street have already announced that they plan on joining MLB for their local TV deals, and MLB will be handling that. But like you mentioned, those 3 teams have yet to announce anything. I think out of the 3, the team that has the best market and the best marketability is the Braves. We'll get into why later. But yeah, man, I mean, do you think they go with MLB? Do you think they go with a different route?
I mean, it's looking like they're going to go a different route.
Yeah, I think that's the right call for them. What do you think?
I think they need to.
At least for a while, right? Give it a couple of years at bare minimum.
And that's like what the Dodgers are doing, right? Don't they have their own, or are they in MLB?
No, they're not in MLB.
Yeah, they have their own broadcasting network.
No, they don't.
No.
No, they signed a deal with Spectrum LA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But an $8 billion deal, by the way.
Big deal.
$8 billion. Which we'll talk about in a future episode. I know people are already in the comments like, oh, everybody's talking about. It's really funny how this deal has been on the books for the Dodgers for like the last 15 years, and now they're talking about the TV rights and how the Dodgers have an unfair advantage with their TV rights, how they're not paying their full share. We'll get into that next week. I promise I'm not dodging it. We'll get to it. We definitely will. Some of the things here we got is from Greg Hoppin saying, let's see here. I'm good signing away. Classic Braves fan.
One good signing away.
One good signing away. Yeah, that's right. That's true.
That's correct, Greg.
That's true. That's
one good signing away.
Exactly. $150 per year.
Not a month.
Not a month. Yes. Yeah, I agree. That should be what it should be. Similar to what's going on with SEG. So, but yeah, anyway, so the Dodgers have their own TV network, not their own TV network. They have their own deal. This kind of plays into what Major League Baseball is trying to do. They're trying to get all local rights for all 30 teams by the end of 2028. They already have the Diamondbacks, the Padres, the Guardians, the Rockies, the Twins, the Marlins, and the Nationals. They added the Brewers, the Marlins, the Cards, the Reds, and the Rays. Boy, those last 5 are just dynamite franchises you want in your portfolio as far as TV revenue goes. Anyway, but yeah, so when it comes to those teams, yeah, I could see why they would all sign because the regional options just went kaput. There is no chance in God's green earth that MLB is going to have the local TV rights to all 30 teams by 2028. And you already mentioned why. The Dodgers have an $8 billion TV deal that goes through 2038.
Yeah.
They're not walking away from that deal to get a third of their, not even a third. I don't know. I mean, this happened a little bit before with Bailey Sports. A couple teams went through this last year and kind of took a pay cut. But do you know how much big of a cut these teams are taking?
I'm assuming a big one.
So it's projected the Cards underneath their regional sport networks were projected to make $60 million from their local TV deal, right? Now that they joined MLB, that's down to $20 million.
That's huge.
That's a huge cut.
Yeah.
So you think the Dodgers are walking away from their $330 million a year deal?
I'm going to say that's probably a no.
To get a slice of that $20 million pie?
Yeah.
You know, that's just dumb. There's
I mean,
no
the
way they're
pie
gonna
probably
do that.
goes up if you add the Dodgers.
Probably, but not three. I mean, unless they guarantee the Dodgers get $330 million of that for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, 12 years. The TV deal's for another 12 years, and it's back heavy. The last 2 years of that contract worth $500 million a year. It's insane, the Dodgers contract. But yeah, so the Cards getting $20 million. The Dodgers get $330 million. Yeah, you know, it's about knowing your market and knowing what your team's valued at. So, which we'll talk a little bit more about later. But it's funny is that I don't think, you know, the Cubs have their own deal. The Yankees have their own deal. They're not going to sign for this deal. They're not going to go for this.
No.
Even the Mets, man, they're like, no way in God's green earth for them doing that. I think it's hilarious. Anyway, I want to hear from you folks. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below when it comes to that. What do you think the Braves, the Cards, and who else? Somebody else.
It was on here somewhere.
Yeah, the Braves.
I have a note.
It's on the notes. It's
on my
great.
notes.
But yeah, so the Braves.
Braves, Tigers, Angels.
Braves, Tigers, Angels. Oh my gosh. Like one of those teams is making the playoffs, and it's not the it's not
Easy.
the Angels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
not the Angels.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, let's pivot into that. You mentioned the other topic we want to talk about, which is who can dethrone the Dodgers, which I think is going to be fantastic. A great thing to wrap up for this conversation, AJ. Why don't you go ahead and bring it home for us? What do we got going on here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Dodgers just repeated as MLB champions.
Mm-hmm.
And winning a second straight title is not an easy thing to do. And
Do you remember the last time it happened?
No.
2000, 2001 was the Yankees.
Ew.
It's not common. So it's been almost over 20 years since it last happened.
But I mean, the Dodgers are, preseason favorites to go ahead, to win it all again. So,
Makes sense.
My question was, there's a lot of teams that are putting together solid rosters. Which one of these teams has enough talent to make sure the Dodgers don't three-peat?
Okay. So do you have a list?
I have a couple teams that I think have a chance.
There was an article posted on ESPN about this, which is interesting. It came out May of last year, but it still is interesting. We still got a lot of similar things to that. But
yeah,
I want to hear it, dude. What's your case for each one of these? Let's start with let's start with your worst chance. Let's start with the worst option and move up. Are we going AL or NL?
I mean, I think if you're going to go NL,
okay.
Obviously,
the Blue Jays were within a cleat of winning the World Series.
Right.
A baseball cleat of winning the World Series last year.
Yeah.
And, still couldn't get it done.
Yeah. They were right there. The Braves were the last National League team to win that it wasn't the Dodgers.
Fair point.
So, I think the Braves are one good player away from from winning it all and having a chance to dethrone the Dodgers. And the American League, I think the Mariners are with that pitching staff. I think they continue to they can get better. Like that team can still get better. Obviously, they lost to Toronto last year, but I think that's a team that has a lot of raw talent on it that can keep going and potentially make some strides to threaten the Dodgers when it comes to the World Series time.
Nice.
I do really like the Cubs, actually. They just have a lot of talent.
Added Bregman as a third baseman.
They added Bregman. I just
signed the best position free agent player this year.
Yeah.
On the infield. Greg, got you there, didn't I?
We got you. So I don't know. What are your thoughts?
So I think it's funny if you Google who's got the best chance of being the Dodgers this year, AI puts the Braves as second.
Yes.
It says top contenders, the Braves. Despite a slow start in 2025, the Braves are viewed as a top-tier threat. Strong rotation led by Spencer Strider and Chris Sale, along with the potential lineup. Again, the Braves need to prove that they can stay healthy, man. That's their biggest Achilles heel. They just can't stay healthy. They just don't. To me,
that's 30, 40 games without Spencer Strider, it hurts you.
Yeah, you kind of need, and you also kind of need to show that you can get past. Hopefully, the Phillies just don't get in your way this year. Maybe, maybe you run into the Dodgers in the first round. The Phillies are playing somebody else. Maybe. But the last few times you guys have been bounced, you've been bounced by the Phillies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of hurtful. The Yankees are shown as a top contender here. They are a team that, again, spent a bunch of money just to re-sign their own players. They did do some
second best odds to win the World Series. Yankees are at plus 700.
Yes. They got a 2024, the American League champions. They also remain a threat with Aaron Judge and a complete starting rotation because Garrett Cole's going to be back next year.
Yeah.
We don't know how he's going to pitch, but he's still going to pitch.
The Yankees are a tough one for me because Aaron Judge is not that he's not still in his prime, but he's on the tail end of his prime. So that Yankees window is closing quickly. If you get Garrett Cole back, obviously it helps a lot. And I think that's why the betting odds are so high. They're the second best team they have the second best odds to win the World Series next year. And it's for that reason, right? Like they do still have a strong roster. They do still have Aaron Judge, but can they stay healthy?
Yeah. I mean, they got a pitching staff for it. They got Carlos Rodon. You got Max Fried, who's
That hurts.
absolutely awesome. You also have, we just mentioned his name. It slipped my mind. Just gone. Just poof, gone away. But he'll be coming back from Tommy John next year. They got a good rotation. Their bullpen looks pretty good. There are a few things that kind of jump out at me there. They have not improved defensively anywhere across the board. They lost their closer and their backup closer. Both of them are going to the Mets now. 2 years in a row, they've lost their closers. It's
that hurts.
To the Mets. So it's kind of okay, what's going on there? Phillies, they have a great. They spent $300 million to bring back their players, to bring back JT Realmuto and to bring back Kyle Schwarber. They spent all the money to bring their players back, but they did actually sign an elite starting pitcher. They did add some talent to that, so they do have a shot. So they have a better pitching staff than they had last time, and I think they also do have a really good shot at beating the Dodgers, considering they were so close. They were an error by the pitcher away from making it to a Game 5 last year, so they were close.
Yeah.
Other teams on the American League, obviously Baltimore Orioles. They're a young team with a heavy upside. The Polar Bear Pete's joined that team. And they also added some really good talent as well, pitching wise. Toronto Blue Jays just got way better. They added Dylan Cease, not Dylan Crease, that guy's a legend, but Dylan Cease, as well as some other key points. They lost Bo Bichette, who's now with the Mets, so that's interesting. But the Blue Jays got better, man. I don't think they got worse. I think they got better. And again, they were within one cleat of winning that World Series. By the way, YouTube, I'm saying cleats, so it's the bottom of the shoe, for sports athletes. They have the Padres on here, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. The Padres are trying to sell their team. They're shedding payroll. While they do still have a good pitching staff, and they do have, Fernando Tatis Jr., they still have Manny Machado. This team has never proven that they play for each other versus playing for themselves. So I'll believe when I see it. Yes, they did knock the Dodgers out 1 year, but that's 1 year. They've never won the division, and since at least in the last 20 years. So it's just kind of, I need to see it from them. But yeah, really the Dodgers' key weakness for this team has been their bullpen. They went out and got Diaz. They brought in Sugar. Hopefully Tanner Scott will be better next year. And, obviously we have some decent players that would be starters on other teams that are going to be bullpen guys going in the postseason. I don't know, man. It's really tough to see anybody out there that's going to have the option to beat the Dodgers. While I do think the Cubs are going to look much better this year, I do think they come out of the Central hands down. But yeah, I doubt there's nobody in the National League that really jumps out to me as being a potential to really take down this team.
Yeah.
The Phillies are close. If the Dodgers get the Phillies another 5-game series, it's definitely doable.
My problem is even if the Braves can get past the Phillies, I'm not sure they can get past the Dodgers.
If you get past the Dodgers, you probably can't get past the Phillies. There's both of those are issues,
And it's just those are just tough series to go out and keep grinding to win to make it.
Yeah, if one of those games is a 5-game series, all bets are off.
Yeah.
It's really, really tough. Really, really tough. We got some comments here coming from Greg Hawkins. Big market teams will never go for it. Absolutely. Big market teams will never go for an MLB local season package. You'd have to come up with some reason for why they'd want to walk away from their lucrative contracts. Cubs are winning it all this year. Hey, they got a good chance of winning the division. And yeah, I kind of like their chances, dude. They are a good team. I'd be surprised if the Brewers won. I'm surprised they won last year. They did it again. They traded away Peralta, which was to the Mets of all teams again.
Seems like the Mets got everybody this year.
Yes, but they also lost Edwin Diaz, Polar Bear Pete.
Yeah.
And they traded away half their team because Lindor didn't like them. Brandon Nimmo's not there. They just, I don't know. I'd have to see it from the Mets. They definitely seem like a teaser for a different video, but the owner, Steve Cohen, always bragged about being the Dodgers of the East, but they're not the Dodgers of the East. They're the Padres of the East. throwing money at the best team they could build in the press conference, not making sure they play well together. Last comment here we got from Greg Hawkins is the Yankees suck, terrible infield. 100% agree, man. 100% agree. You got to figure out third base. Anthony Volpe is not the shortstop of the future. He's not Derek Jeter 2.0. Jazz Chisholm at second's fine. They keep trying to figure out who to put on first base, and it's always some old guy. It was Rizzo, and then it was Paul Goldschmidt.
Yeah.
Maybe Belly could play some first base for you, but you need him in the outfield. So, 100% agree with that comment there for sure. You got anything else for us?
No. Lots of good stuff, though. That was a long episode.
That was a long episode.
Yeah.
It's good that we re-upped our bus route. Once again, folks, we want to hear from you folks. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. As a reminder, we did just hit 1,000 subscribers on this channel. We are still giving away the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to y'all. So if you have not yet, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on that giveaway. 5 subscribers are each going to earn $100 each. So subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on that giveaway.
Yep. And if you're watching on YouTube on one of our short videos, just know this is available as a podcast wherever you get your audio.
With all that said, my name is Darren. That is AJ. And this has been an episode of the DNA Sports Recap.
Till next time.